50 Cent has just dropped a bombshell, claiming that Jay-Z is the very first person Diddy is coming after once he's fully free. And honestly, this changes everything. According to what's being said, Jay-Z may have played a major role behind the scenes, setting Diddy up to take the fall while quietly preparing to distance himself from the chaos. What makes this even crazier is that Jay-Z was allegedly present at countless Diddy parties and even had his name appear in multiple lawsuits connected to those situations. Yet somehow, he never had to step foot inside a courtroom and managed to stay completely untouched. That raises one serious question. Was Jay-Z just lucky? Or was he the mastermind pulling the strings behind Diddy's downfall all along?
That the same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They was trying to get him to do the Super Bowl without me.
Wasn't happening.
And that's not it. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would look and go, it's okay for them, the award shows, not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave.
The tension between 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Diddy isn't something new. It goes all the way back to the 1990s. Things really escalated when 50 dissed Jay-Z in his track How to Rob, openly calling him fake and exposing what he believed was a carefully crafted image. From that moment, 50 made it clear he believed Jay-Z was all talk with no real action. According to 50, Jay's real power didn't come from the streets but from influence, blackballing artists, and using industry connections to control outcomes. There are even claims that Jay instructed artists in his circle to drop albums at the same time as 50, just to sabotage his sales and limit his rise. And when it comes to Diddy and Jay becoming billionaires, 50 suggests it wasn't just about music. It was about stepping over others, pulling strings, and making sure no one else could climb higher than them.
You know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tide wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. And let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
No, we'd have had altercation.
50 wasn't blind to what was happening. He says he saw the pattern early, how Jay and Diddy allegedly worked to suppress other artists, including Nas, trying to drown out his success and control the narrative. The same figures who publicly claimed to uplift the culture were, behind closed doors, accused of doing the exact opposite. According to 50, if you weren't aligned with their circle, your chances of survival in the industry dropped instantly. He never believed their public image, always feeling like something deeper was going on. Even voices like Lord Jamar echoed similar concerns, suggesting that powerful forces within the industry decide who rises and who gets erased. In that world, talent alone isn't enough. Approval from the top is everything.
Be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel. And Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing that. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe, or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was gonna buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beyonce, you won't, 9 times out of 10 you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top of me. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, Dame would.
Criticism of Jay-Z goes even further, with accusations that he actively blocked opportunities for others instead of creating them. One of the biggest claims is that he tried to stop 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Eminem stepping in and making it clear he wouldn't perform without 50, that moment might never have happened. That situation alone raises questions about how much control certain figures have behind the scenes, and how far they're willing to go to protect their position at the top.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand, and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make him laugh.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
You didn't know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not gonna do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what? Some of the.
I mean,
the
you know, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was
that? 9? But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole.
Of course, but 50 was
thing?
Was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after this. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
Jay-Z and Diddy have been connected for decades, moving through the industry side by side since the 90s. But when things started falling apart for Diddy, Jay reportedly kept his distance. Some even believe he may have had a role in how everything unfolded. One of the most suspicious elements is the timing of the footage involving Diddy and Cassie, held for 8 years before suddenly being released. Why wait that long? Who decided the right moment? And why did everything come crashing down all at once? The timing feels too precise, too calculated, almost like it was planned.
Who was kind of like, we're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatened to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology, while his lawyers accuse the government of leaking the tape. It was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal, March is raiding his house, Miami in LA. May, here's a video being dropped from CNN, even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here, so whatever I'm reading is not necessarily 100%. It is there, it is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use that? This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious flash.
Inside the industry, many believe Diddy wasn't just exposed, he was targeted. One day he's at the top, receiving honors and recognition, and the next he's in handcuffs, watching his empire collapse and hundreds of millions disappear. That kind of fall doesn't just happen randomly. It raises the possibility that powerful forces decided it was his time to go, and everything was set in motion to make it happen.
Surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer? Kind of like the mindset.
I mean, surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West, so you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
50 Cent didn't hesitate to point fingers. He openly suggested that Jay-Z could be the one behind it all, even making jokes about the situation publicly. But behind the humor, there's a serious accusation that someone with enough power and influence may have orchestrated one of the biggest downfalls in hip-hop history.
Come on with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us, black excellence,
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Come on, bro.
From 50's perspective, Jay-Z has always been a businessman first. Every move, every decision, every connection, it's all about money and control. He even goes as far as questioning Jay's marriage to Beyonce, calling it strategic rather than personal. According to this narrative, Jay's success skyrocketed after that union, with a massive increase in awards and recognition. The idea being pushed is that nothing in his career happened by accident. Everything was calculated, planned, and executed for maximum gain.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies, those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy.
You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong.
He was
At
one.
the same time.
After that, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades
because
are from
he's
the
no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's in.
Oh, wow.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, you know, so I was forced to know both sides of the business.
There are also lingering questions about Jay-Z's past. Despite controversies and accusations over the years, he has managed to avoid serious legal consequences. One example often brought up is the 1999 incident where he was accused of stabbing a music executive at a New York club. Even in that high-profile case, he avoided major fallout. For critics, this adds to the belief that he operates on a level where consequences don't apply the same way they do to others.
Rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults, you know.
Diddy, on the other hand, faced similar accusations in the past, but also managed to avoid conviction until now. Fast forward to today, and he's the one facing prison while Jay-Z remains untouched, acting as if he had